Alright, so tonight's video is more of an informational video. I'm going to be talking about what happens when you spin a plug 180 degrees and how to take care of that, how to prevent it, and how to take care of it if it happens. Just the basics of what to do. So this lock here, it's a Master 930, was sent to me by a fellow Redditor who accidentally spun the plug 180 degrees. And he thought that if I could fix it, it might make a good video for people, and I tend to agree. I've done it more than once. Not too long ago I did it myself to this Pro Series 745. Haven't bothered fixing it yet because it just pissed me off when I did it. So we're going to go over what happens and how to take care of it. Before we get to work on this one and see if we can get her happy again, I'm going to go over what happens, what it looks like, and things like that. So here I just have a cylinder pinned with one pin at the front, and I've kind of mocked up what it looks like inside the padlock a bit here so we can look at that. One thing about the padlock here is the core is under spring tension. That's why I wanted to put this here, and that does cause a little bit more difficulty when getting out of one of these. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pick this one pin to open so we can look and see how things operate, and then I'll show you what we need to watch out for, and then we'll get started. So I don't need that quite yet. Just one pin, hopefully I can do it. Alright. So right now it's picked open. And as I start to turn it, take this off, you can see it turns the cam, but the spring is hung up on that tab that can't turn, and that's happening inside the cylinder. So as you're turning it, you're rotating the cam, and that allows the ball bearing to fall down into there and the shackle to open. Now, I'm going to take this off. I don't need this under load. We're going to go ahead and rotate this like we picked it now. And keep in mind, in the padlock, it's going to be about like this right now. And typically if you're using a key to open it, the shoulder of the key will hit right here and prevent you from overturning it. But when you're picking, maybe overzealous, it's easy to go past that mark and start getting closer to 180 degrees. Now what you're going to see here is once we go a full 180 degrees, the driver pin that's up here under spring tension is going to shoot back down into the keyway. Let's see if we can see that happen here. You see it pop down right there? And so another issue we have after you rotate it, I don't know if you can see, right there, that's the other pin, the key pin. Now it's hung up in that hole of the sleeve, the plug sleeve. So now to get out of this, we need to get the key pin out of there, up, and we need to get this driver pin back up. Now, lucky for us, we can turn the lock upside down, and now that key pin is free and clear. So now all we have to do is get that driver pin back down into the Bible and rotate it back. Now, getting this pin out is the harder part. This one, gravity helped us. So you can put a tension wrench in there, jiggle it back and forth, and tap on the lock to make sure all the key pins fall back down. But when you have this core under spring tension because of the cam in the lock, it's holding this pin, the key pins, up, and it's definitely binding against the drivers. So let's look at this lock now and see if we can get it unspun. So typically when you throw a lock in the vise, you throw it in there just like this. Top of the keyway would be up here. And so in this lock, I guess it's over here. The Bible's over here. So it's kind of holding it wrong, but same idea. You get it. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the lock over. And we're going to just put our tension wrench in and jiggle it a bit. Tap it. Make sure all the key pins have fallen back down here. And the lighting's not that good. Let's see if I can put a flashlight over here. So now you can see the key pin at the top of this keyway. It's down there now. But you can also see at the bottom here, you can see that driver sticking up into that keyway, and that's going to cause us some problems. So the way I've taken care of these in the past, after I get the key pins jiggled loose, I get my tension wrench in there. And now we have to continue to rotate clockwise, the wrong way. We need to overcome that spring tension so we can get those pins pushed back down. And you can use any piece of like wiper insert or the back of a pick. I have this old pick I made a long time ago. I like to get it back there, and it allows me to kind of lever it down and make sure everything's nice and flat. And so what we'll do is we'll get it in there, get all those pins flat, jiggle it a bit, and once we feel this break loose a bit, we'll start rotating it back counterclockwise the right direction while we hold down those pins so they don't pop back up. Let's see if I can adjust this a little bit so there's a little bit better light, since my hand's covering stuff up a bit. Now you can see it rotated a lot more. So that means I got the pins where they need to be, so I can hold them down and hopefully start rotating it back. There we go. The problem is I need to work my pick around this tab and my tension wrench around that tab as I'm rotating it back. Now once I get it back to where it should be open, the shackle, oh, there it goes again. Well, I actually let go, so it should have opened, but I shot past it too fast, it looks like. But now you can see top of the keyway is back where it belongs. And so now we should be able to turn it over and pick it again. He happened to send the key, so I'm going to go ahead and use that and see if this still operates the lock. Hopefully it does, and I can get it back to him, and happy. Alright, it does not want to go back in. So this could be because pins got bunged up. There we go. Very possible when trying to unlock this, and I know I've done it before, it's possible to score the pins and get things to seize up a bit, and so getting the key back in there is a challenge. But see, now it's good. So how this can happen, I know how it's happened to me. These locks, they're dead shackles, meaning they're not under spring pressure. Where other locks, you can see when you push down, they want to pop back up. That's when you pop a lock, you pick it, cha-chunk, it pops right open. And that's very satisfying. But on a dead shackle, if there's not enough weight on this shackle, even after you pick it, it might not just slide open. Especially if you have a spring-loaded cam that's putting pressure on everything, you know, so it might hold that shackle in place. It's possible someone might want to keep turning, wait for that shackle to pop, and before they realize it, bam, they're locked in 180 degrees, and their lock won't open. That's what's happened to me. I know I've done it before. So now that this is working again, I'll go ahead and break it down and make sure all the pins look good, and I'll actually go ahead and replace any scored pins and make sure it's in good working order again. If you guys have any questions about this, or what you can do, or need some advice, feel free, reach out to me. Leave me a message here. You can reach me on the r/lockpicking subreddit, and also on the Discord chat. So, yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions, and I hope you learned something today. And if it happens to you, don't worry, you can undo it most of the time. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.